We are here in 2022 and we're gonna go over what it takes to get to a race. You know, all you do is see us out at the desert races and you don't know behind the scenes how that starts. So Jordan and I are gonna go over all the logistics, the fuel, the tires, and the entire program that it takes to get there. Here's where it all starts, right? In this case, you have to wait until the map is out usually, but we're pretty familiar with a lot of these races and where they go. One of the things we do, we go on Google Earth and overlay the map on a GPS file and start putting notes on it. And first thing we're determining is how much fuel we're gonna need for each truck, how far they can go, and when they need tires. That's gonna determine our pits.
So then we figure out our crew, how many guys we need, how many pits, what kind of guys you have to have at each pit, and then how much fuel, of course, right? So we have a big fuel pressure pros that we'll show you in a bit outside.
One of the first things we do is we set up our pit plan and our pit strategy. It starts with putting everyone that is entered in the race on the list so that we can keep track of them during the race. Next, you have your contact list. You've got to have everyone that is going to the race and what their phone number is so anyone can get in contact with them at any time. From there, we go to the pit strategy. This is the hard one that takes a little bit longer. How many tires each person's gonna get and how much fuel. So this race, I believe we're gonna take about 1,500 gallons of race fuel.
In this particular instance, this is a lap race. This is the Parker 425 in this specific, one we're getting set up for right now. So being a lap race, it's quite a bit easier for logistics because we got, let's say, one main pit. Trucks keep coming around, they fuel, and then we'll have a few satellite pits, remote pits out as well. When you get into stuff like Baja 1000, that's a logistical nightmare basically. There's so many moving targets the entire time. You have fuel stop, remote fuel stop, and those guys don't have cell service. We gotta get them sat phones. Just getting fuel in the chase trucks to get down there can be tricky because the gas stations run out of diesel fuel. So that's a whole other element on its own. But today we're talking about a more simple race for logistics, which is the Parker 425.
You gotta have all your radio frequencies, and anyone in a chase truck or with a handheld radio that might not know what those are, we've gotta be prepared for them. So in our pit book, you've got your frequencies of all the different people there, how to get in contact with them. That's something we have to educate the clients on, that, hey, when you're in a race truck, if something may happen, you need to go to Weatherman or BFG, whatever that channel may be, to get in contact with them, sometimes for a relay. A radio might not always work from point to point, but typically you can always find a way to get a relay in there. So if you go from Brenthel, you swap it to Weatherman, Weatherman can relay that info back to your crew, which is really critical. So a lot of what we do for clients and for everyone is education, helping them understand how to get to the races and what it takes to make it to the finish line. So along with obviously all the logistics of the fuel, the tires, that's only a portion of it. My wife Stephanie does all of the racer registration for ourselves, our clients, getting the food ready, the hotels, and all that prepared ahead of time. So quite a bit of work goes in on the back end to getting this done. All right, now we're gonna take you into the shop. So we're in a new building again. I know we had a shop tour recently, and that was just over a year ago. We had moved into about 13,000 square feet. Well, we upgraded. And about 30 days ago, we moved into this building, which is now 54,000 square feet.
And the old video actually says new shop tour on YouTube. It's not the new shop tour. We'll have a new shop tour.
There'll be a new shop tour soon. As you can tell, the walls are a little sparse around here and we need to get set up a little bit better. But we're working on it and we'll have a shop tour for you upcoming soon. And here we come into Brenthel Industries. That corner over there is actually Baja Kits, where we manufacture all the suspension for your daily driver trucks like Ford Raptors, Toyota Tacomas,
Chevy Silverados, and Broncos.
Broncos are a big one. So let's take you into Brenthel where you can see all the trucks. We got about 35 trucks in here right now. And on the left side, what you're looking at are all the trucks that are being prepped that are owned by Brenthel Industries. On the right-hand side, you're looking at trucks that are clients' trucks. All these clients leave their truck here, we house them, prep them, and take care of them. We're gonna walk you through what it takes to get ready for a race. Again, there's a lot more behind the scenes than just getting that thing out there. All the stages that go into this before going to the race are obviously prepping the race trucks. We're not gonna talk about that today. We'll do another series with that, talking about what it takes to tear down a truck through all the harsh environment. We're talking more about the fuel, the pits, and what it takes to get to a race. not specifically the prep. But as you can see behind me, all these trucks are torn down. This is actually Baja 1000 winner in the 6100 class, getting torn down and prepped for San Felipe race. As you can see here, this is another one that is getting torn down and prepped for a race. Behind us, another video will come for this one. This is our all-wheel drive. Pretty excited about this truck. But this has done 1,000 miles. It is a brand new design. It took about 5 years to complete. This is last year's championship trick truck in the Best in the Desert race series. So this took the championship with Kyle Jurgensen driving and the team Brenthel prepping, maintaining, and doing every aspect of it. We had a flawless race season. It wasn't easy to accomplish, but we're extremely proud of the results we had there.
And we do have another YouTube video on this one that actually is already out, so you can go check that out on our YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. It kind of shows the last few races and the battle of kind of who we were going against and what we were up against, and we did take it, so pretty cool.
This is where we set up all of our race fuel and tires. This is our race logistics area. As you can see here, we've got 55-gallon drums of BP racing fuel.
A lot of them.
A lot of fuel. Looking right here, we've got about 1,500 gallons of race fuel ready for this race. So if you know anything about trophy trucks, they go 2 miles to the gallon. It's a little bit better than your average Tesla. No, but yeah, 2 miles to the gallon is your average. We get down 1.5 is kind of the worst we'll get during a race, and up to about 2.7 depending on the tracks. With that, we got to do tires, and we got to pit those trucks in 34 seconds. That has to be 100 gallons of fuel and 2 brand new tires in the rear.
As you can see, we have multiple tanks, so each one of these gets filled with fuel from the drums, and then these get pressurized. These go in the back of the trucks, and they get pressurized. It's actually fairly low pressure, but this is what lets us fill the trucks with a quick filling system, like Jonathan said, in 30 to 40 seconds, and that's 100-gallon tanks. So during the process of a race, obviously all these drums, we have to refill them with having so many trucks go through. So we'll have backups in the pit. We'll have, let's say, one setup, and then if 2 trucks come on top of each other, we'll have a second one backed up right behind it, just so we can stab that one in the truck in case 2 people come on top of each other.
Another thing it takes is tires, right? So every race truck gets approximately 10 tires to each race. Obviously that depends on the mileage and how far you have to go. It's not your regular tire. You don't just mount it and bounce it. These are method V blocks. What you're looking at here, we have to torque every single one of these bolts to 18 foot-pounds.
On all these tires.
So you're looking at a lot of tires here. That takes a lot of time.
These are all race-specific tires. These are not DOT. That would not hold up. They're very, very specific, extra strong sidewalls, so you don't slash a tire, specific tread pattern, as well as compound. But again, these are all competition race tires, 40 inches. They're huge, and every one of our trucks, whether it's the spec truck, 6100, trophy truck, or all-wheel drive, at the moment are all on the 40-inch tire on a 17-inch beadlock wheel.
Sometimes it's the simple things that can make it the most important.
Like knowing where your pit is.
Coming into a pit, right? You're flustered. You're in a race truck and you're focused on racing. Well, you better make your pit, because if you miss it by accident, you are going to be in the middle of the desert without any fuel, completely stuck, wondering where to get some fire so you can sleep for the night. So these little pit signs here can be really important. Another thing, obviously, is all the safety, right? We've got to be prepared and ready to go with fire extinguishers. Obviously, safety is the #1 concern in racing, especially in the pits. So we've got someone manning the fire extinguisher. If any reason there were fuel to spill over, catch fire, we'd be there to take care of it.
So these little cases, like we said earlier, a lot of areas being out there supporting, you have 0 cell service, which you need cell service just to communicate with other pits, especially in Mexico. At Parker, that's actually, you don't have cell service at main pit, which is kind of crazy. So we have our satellite phones. We'll pack these in different chase trucks depending on what pit you're going to and how remote it is. Race trucks and everywhere else. So this is a great way to communicate when you don't have cell service. They're definitely needed. So everything you see here on this cart, it's getting prepped and ready to be transferred into the chase truck, which are about to get ready right after the fuel and the tires are mounted. They'll go into the chase trucks and trailers along with the items on this cart. So we have some fluids here. These can go in different shadow trucks or chase trucks that aren't already fully equipped, kind of if we have an extra shadow truck going out to a remote pit. As you can see, it's a Pelican case, and we've got a lot of extra fluids in here. Just in an emergency, we can kind of hand it to anybody and have what we need to get somebody out of a pinch.
Obviously, along with fuel is maintenance of trailers. It's a pain. There's a lot of work to do on trailers and keeping the upkeep on them. If your trailer fails you or has any kind of a problem going up to a race, your race truck doesn't make it there. We'll walk you over to a trailer and show you what it looks like. I have a Pressure Pro, which is a 200-gallon fueling system. All right, here would be one of our trailers that we use. You got 2 spare tires up front. They have a winch in them. They also hold a spare 100 gallons underneath that we can pump out. Triple axle, lots of storage for compartments for transmissions, steering boxes, spare parts that we might need during a race. Here would be one of the Pressure Pro systems carrying 200 gallons. Again, another item that needs to get maintained consistently with valves, seals, and rebuilt all the time.
So we have the Team Toter Home behind us. This comes to some of the races, not all of them. It doesn't go to Baja, it does come to the States. We're going to
any of the lap races that we go to, we use this one because you're coming back to the same location, and that way we have amenities for the clients.
Yeah, so like the Mint 400, Parker 425, Laughlin races, ones like that are easy. So yeah, it's nice. It's a place to kind of hang out, go to. The drivers can get changed, serve food in there and everything else.
Another big part of off-road racing is your chase truck, the vehicle that we have to maintain and keep ready to go to the race with all the parts, tools, supplies that go to each pit. If you guys are interested in seeing a full chase truck video, we'd be happy to do that. Maybe comment below. As you can see here, this one's equipped with just a few of the items. Won't go into too much detail, but you've obviously got your jack up there. That also doubles as one in the race truck. If someone happened to lose one in a race, then we could swap it out at the next pit for that one. We've got a vise on there. We've got your floodlights. It's got King shocks, the lift kit on it. It's got GPS, radios, the whole 9.
So we got the chase trucks, and then of course we have the shadow trucks. You might have heard us talk about these before. These are half tons, a little more capable. They don't hold crazy tools or equipment like the chase trucks. These are a little more versatile, right, to go into the course if we need it and bring parts, equipment, or tools to the race trucks quickly on course. This is a Ford Raptor, obviously, and it's got all of our Baja kit suspension on it. And basically, they're made to go and perform in the dirt to get parts out quick. They have simple items like GPS, radio, satellite phone, lights, everything you kind of need to get the job done. Here's another truck we have, Silverado 1500. They're both 4-wheel drive. Again, this is a Baja Kits pre-runner kit, so we have more suspension travel.
I don't think the Chevy is still running. The Ford over here, on the other hand, is doing phenomenal.
Actually, the Ford is on its second engine, while the Chevy is on its first.
It's irrelevant when the thing goes at top speed of 60 miles an hour.
It's not 60, but it's definitely not like the Raptor.
We actually used to call these like fast attack vehicles because obviously they're a lot quicker than the chase trucks are. That was a bad idea. We moved to shadow vehicles, meaning they shadow the race trucks. A lot of people are driving these vehicles, a lot of employees and everything else, and they hear the word fast attack and they think they're supposed to go through the desert at 120 miles an hour, and they think they're driving a trophy truck and they're part of the race. And another thing is education with our employees and saying, hey guys, you cannot become the emergency. You need to get this vehicle to help and assist the race truck in a timely manner, efficiently and safely, most important.
So you just went to the shop and we kind of went over everything it takes to get to a race. This is before you get to it, prep, logistics, getting everything handled. So now we're gonna head to the Parker 425.